treasured listeners. I'm Sindokht, and welcome to a joyous episode of Echoes of Persia. Our journey began with the first crown, from Kayumars to Jamshid, and in our last episode, Between Love and Duty, Kings and Parents, we witnessed the desperate struggles of families torn between love and tradition. We witnessed the storm that erupted when Zaal's love for Rudabeh became known. Saam's loyalty to King Manoochehr clashed with his love for his son, while Mehrab, Rudabeh's father, was torn between his pride and his daughter's devotion. Amid this chaos, Sindokht emerged as a voice of reason, crafting a daring plan to preserve Rudabeh's happiness and Kabul's survival. If you're ready to witness how love and wisdom can transform ancient hatred into joyous celebration, please subscribe to our channel and join us for this triumphant tale. When all was prepared, Sindokht transformed herself from queen to warrior.
For my daughter, for Kabul, I must be more than I've ever been.
She donned a Roman helmet, mounted a horse swift as wind, and girded herself with a warrior's belt. No soft-stepping queen was this, but a determined envoy riding toward destiny. Without fanfare or announcement, Sindokht arrived at Saam's court. The guards whispered among themselves at this mysterious arrival.
An envoy from Kabul seeks audience with Saam the champion.
A messenger comes bearing gifts from Mehrab, mighty one.
Before Saam's astonished eyes, Sindokht presented a procession that stretched 2 miles long. Servants wearing golden collars, magnificent horses, mighty elephants, and treasures beyond counting.
What manner of message is this? When has a woman been sent with such tribute? If I accept, will the king's anger grow? If I refuse, what storm might follow?
Great champion of Iran, before whom the wise grow wiser still, I seek a solemn oath. Grant me safety by your sacred word, and truths you must know shall be revealed.
Speak your mind, mysterious one. By the Creator, who made the sun and moon, no harm shall come to you within my court.
And so began one of the most extraordinary encounters in our tale. A queen disguised, a warrior intrigued, and the fate of 2 realms hanging upon their words.
Know then, mighty Saam, that I am Sindokht, wife to Mehrab, mother to Rudabeh. Yes, I am of Zahak's line, yet before the pure Creator, we pray nightly for you and King Manoochehr.
Tell me then, Lady of Kabul, of this daughter who has captured my son's heart. Speak of her nature, her bearing, her wisdom.
She is spring in face, cypress in height. Her waist is as slender as a reed. Her walk graceful as a partridge. In wisdom and manner, she is everything a prince could desire.
If your courage mirrors hers, I begin to understand my son's heart. My oath stands firm, though my soul should break. You and all of Kabul shall be safe, if your daughter matches Zaal in love as you match me in courage. Perhaps the Creator himself has willed this union.
Then honor us by coming to Kabul yourself. Let us welcome you as the greatest of kings.
A messenger, swift as wind, was dispatched to Kabul, carrying joyous news to Mehrab.
Cast aside dark thoughts. Prepare to welcome honored guests. The storm has turned to sunshine.
Saam presented Sindokht with gifts worthy of her courage. His own properties in Kabul, herds of milk-giving cattle, precious garments and furnishings. Taking her hand, he made a final pledge.
I accept your daughter for Zaal. Let them be happy companions. Take these 200 noble warriors as escort, and know that from this day forward, you need fear no evil whispers.
And so Sindokht, her face blooming like a fresh moon after darkness, began her journey home. She had come as a supplicant and departed as a victor, having won not just safety for her people, but a noble alliance for her daughter.
How swiftly fortune's wheel turns. Yesterday we feared the sword. Today we celebrate a wedding.
Word reached the king that Zaal, son of Saam, was approaching. All the nobles of the realm came forth to welcome him, every warrior who held rank in the kingdom.
Make way for Zaal, son of Saam the champion. The white-haired warrior approaches.
As Zaal entered the great hall, the king's guards cleared his path. Before the throne, he bowed low, kissing the ground and offering blessings to the king.
Long live the King of Kings, shadow of the Creator on earth.
For a long moment, Zaal kept his face pressed to the ground, while the compassionate king watched him with interest.
Rise, young warrior. Let them clean the dust from your face and scatter musk upon you. How was your journey, brave one? The road is long and full of wind and dust.
By your grace, all hardships become pleasures. In your presence, every trial becomes a celebration.
The king took Saam's letter from Zaal, and as he read it, a smile touched his lips, his spirit brightening.
This letter from old Saam has added to my concerns. Yet, for this heartfelt plea, I shall set aside my doubts and grant your wish. Stay a while in joy, while I consider how best to achieve your happiness.
Golden tables were brought forth, and the king sat down to dine with Zaal. All the nobles joined them at the royal feast, honoring the son of Saam. When the feast ended and the wine had flowed, Zaal mounted his horse with its golden harness and rode through the night, his heart full of thoughts, his lips full of words left unsaid. At dawn, Zaal returned to court, his belt tightly fastened, ready to serve the victorious Manoochehr. The king blessed him openly and, when Zaal departed, praised him in private. The king commanded that the wisest minds in his realm gather before his throne, the mobeds, the astrologers, and the sages.
Search the heavens, read the stars. Tell me what fate holds for this unusual union.
For 3 days and nights, the wise men labored. Their fingers traced ancient Roman astronomical tables. Their eyes searched the wheeling stars above.
Here, Mars aligns with Jupiter. Venus stands bright in the house of love.
On the 3rd day, the astrologers returned to the king's presence, their faces bright with discovery.
O king, we have consulted the turning heavens. This clear water shall indeed flow from the daughter of Mehrab and the son of Saam. A hero shall be born, a warrior of noble spirit and great renown.
The wise men's voices grew stronger as they revealed the star's promises.
His life shall be long and blessed. He shall possess strength, glory, and majesty. None shall match him in feast or battle. Where his horse's mane grows wet with exertion, his opponents' hearts shall grow dry with fear. Even the eagle will not dare fly over his helmet. He shall be tall and glorious, catching lions with his lasso. His sword shall make the very air weep. He shall be the protector of Iran's warriors, the support of kings.
As the prophecy unfolded, even the king's stern face began to soften, seeing in these words not the threat of Zahak's blood, but the promise of Iran's future glory.
Keep secret what the stars have shown. Now let us test this young warrior's mind.
The king summoned Zaal before the assembly of Mobeds, the wisest scholars in the realm.
Noble Zaal, tell us of 12 towering cypress trees, each bearing 30 branches, neither more nor less, throughout the year. And speak of 2 noble steeds, one black as pitch, one white as crystal, forever racing, never meeting. 30 horsemen pass before the king. Count them, and one is missing. Count again, and 30 remain. How can this be? In a verdant meadow, a mighty man with a great scythe cuts both dry and fresh grass, never lifting his head from the task. What meaning lies here? 2 tall cypress trees rise from a stormy sea. A bird makes its home between them, roosting on one at dawn, the other at dusk. When it leaves one, the leaves wither. When it lands on the other, musk perfumes the air. Yet one stays ever fresh, while the other mourns. Explain this mystery. On a mountainside stands a mighty city. Its people leave for a thorny wasteland, building towers that reach the moon. They become servants there, never thinking of their first home. Then a great owl appears, their land vanishes, and long thoughts of their original city return. What truth hides here? Solve these riddles before the assembly, young Zaal. If you can reveal these mysteries, you will turn black earth to pure musk in our eyes.
All eyes turned to Zaal as he prepared to answer these ancient riddles, each one testing not just his wisdom, but his worthiness to join the ranks of Iran's noble houses. Zaal paused in thought, his white hair gleaming in the court's light. Then, drawing himself up proudly, he began to unravel the mysteries.
First, of the 12 cypress trees with 30 branches each. These are the 12 months of the year, each with 30 days, marking time's eternal dance. The 2 horses, one black as pitch, one white as crystal, forever racing but never meeting. These are day and night, eternally chasing each other across the sky, counted by the turning wheel of heaven. And the 30 horsemen, where one seems missing yet, the count remains complete. This is the moon's cycle, appearing to lose a day yet remaining whole in its eternal dance. The 2 cypresses rising from the stormy sea, with the bird moving between them. These are the world's 2 halves, from Aries to Libra and beyond to Pisces. The bird is the sun itself, bringing life and death in its passage. The city on the mountain and the thorny plain below. This is the eternal story of life and death. We build our towers to the moon, yet must all return to our first home. The owl is death itself, reminding us of our mortality. And the man with the scythe in the meadow. He is time itself, cutting down all alike, hearing no pleas, sparing neither young nor old. Such is the way of the world, since its beginning, and so shall it remain.
As Zaal's words echoed through the court, King Manoochehr's face broke into a smile of delight. The assembly erupted in joy, and the king ordered a feast worthy of such wisdom.
Let us celebrate. This youth has proven himself worthy not just in arms, but in wisdom.
Wine flowed as freely as wisdom had moments before, and the celebration continued until the world grew dark and the revelers' heads grew light with joy. As the sun rose after the Feast of Wisdom, Zaal approached the king, seeking permission to return to his father.
Brave youth, stay one more day. You speak of Mehrab's daughter, but what of the warrior's path? Let us see your skills in the field of arms.
The king commanded that drums and Indian bells be brought to the field, along with spears, maces, bows, and arrows. The nobles gathered, eager to witness Zaal's martial skills.
Behold, the test of arms begins. Let all warriors take their positions.
In the royal field stood an ancient tree, its branches thick with years. Zaal took up his bow, stroked it lovingly, and spurred his horse forward.
In the name of the Creator.
His arrow struck true through the mighty tree's trunk. Then, still at full gallop, he launched another shaft that split the air like lightning. When the spear wielders came forward with their heavy shields, Zaal called for his own shield. But this was no ordinary display.
Let me show you a new way of hunting with the javelin.
He pierced 3 shields at once with his mighty throw, the weapon bursting through to the other side as if they were autumn leaves. One proud warrior stepped forward to challenge Zaal in personal combat. As they met in the midst of the field, Zaal swooped like a dragon, seized his opponent's belt, and lifted him from the saddle as easily as plucking a flower, leaving the king and army in amazement.
Neither lion nor sea monster could produce such a warrior. Blessed is Saam, who has such a son.
Bring forth the royal gifts. This warrior has proven himself in both wisdom and war.
The king presented Zaal with magnificent gifts: a crown of great price, a golden throne, precious armlets and necklaces, noble servants, horses, and treasures beyond counting. King Manoochehr wrote his response to Saam.
O brave champion, lion of battles, the turning heavens have never seen your equal in war, feast, wisdom, or grace. Your blessed son Zaal has proven himself worthy of his heritage. What else could we expect? When a lion hunts leopards, what offspring could come but a fierce warrior? Go forth with joy, and may evil stay far from your house.
A messenger raced to Saam, while another sped toward Kabul, carrying the joyous news to Mehrab.
Your daughter shall wed the warrior of Zabul. The king himself has blessed their union.
Mehrab's joy at this news was boundless. Musicians were summoned from every corner of the realm.
O wise companion, your counsel has transformed our darkness to light. You reached for a branch that even kings would praise.
All our treasures are at your disposal, whether ivory throne or precious gems.
Sindokht hurried to Rudabe's chambers, her heart overflowing with happiness.
My daughter, your beloved approaches. Your patience has won its reward.
O queen among mothers, I would make a pillow of the dust beneath your feet. May evil eyes stay far from you, and may your soul's house be forever filled with celebration.
The palace transformed into a paradise. Sindokht ordered halls scented with rosewater, wine, musk, and ambergris. Golden carpets woven with jewels and pearls. Ivory thrones with ruby feet. Silks from Fars, Avaz, and Ray. Rudabe adorned like a spring garden. All of Kabul bloomed with decoration. Elephants were adorned with precious trappings. Musicians mounted them wearing golden crowns, ready to welcome the bridegroom with showers of gold and musk. Zaal rode with such haste that he seemed like a bird in flight, like a ship cutting through waves. So swift was his journey that none had time to prepare a welcome.
The blessed Zaal returns. The white-haired warrior approaches.
Saam the warrior rushed out to meet his son, joy radiating from his face. He held Zaal in his embrace for a long moment.
Welcome home, my son!
Dismounting, Zaal kissed the ground before his father and recounted all that had transpired at the king's court.
A message came from Kabul while you were away, from a remarkable woman named Sindokht. She secured my oath that no harm would come to her people, and we settled matters fairly. First, that the moon of Kabul shall wed the son of Zabul. Second, that we shall be their guests and heal old wounds between our houses.
At these words, Zaal's face flushed with joy, turning the colour of rubies.
Great champion, if it pleases you, let us lead our army to Kabul. Let us hear what they have to say.
Saam looked at his son knowingly, understanding that for Zaal, all words not about Mehrab's daughter were like distant dreams. Saam ordered the Indian bells and drums to sound, announcing their preparations for departure. A swift messenger was dispatched to Kabul.
The great champion approaches with Zaal and a host of warriors and elephants.
When this news reached Kabul, Mehrab's joy knew no bounds. It was as if his soul would take flight from happiness. Musicians were summoned from every corner to celebrate. Mehrab beat his drums and raised his banners. His army stood resplendent as a peacock's eye. With mighty elephants and musicians, the earth transformed into paradise from end to end. Banners of silk in every hue, red, white, yellow, and purple. The sound of reed pipes and harps, the blast of trumpets and ring of bells. Was this the day of resurrection, or merely celebration? When Mehrab reached Saam's presence, he dismounted and approached with reverence. The great champion embraced him, asking of his welfare.
Glory to Saam the warrior and to Zaal the golden.
Mounting his swift steed again, like a new moon rising over mountains, Mehrab placed a golden crown studded with gems upon Zaal's white hair.
How long will you keep Rudabe hidden?
Where is the gift that would earn you the sight of the sun?
Ask what you will. It shall be yours.
In the golden chamber, where spring seemed eternal, Saam beheld Rudabe's moon-like face and was struck speechless with wonder, unable to find words worthy of her beauty. Mehrab came forward, and the marriage contract was sealed according to ancient custom. They seated the couple on one throne, showering them with carnelians and emeralds. The moon-faced bride with her crown of glory, the king with his jeweled diadem. For 1 week, they feasted in the palace, wine in hand. Then 3 weeks, they celebrated in the gardens. The nobles of the land stood before the high palace, paying homage to the newly wedded couple. When the month ended, Saam prepared to depart for Gorgosaran and the western lands, leaving Zaal as ruler of Sistan. Sindokht remained, while Mehrab returned to Kabul.
King Manoochehr has granted me authority over these lands, but I fear trouble from Mazandaran. Guard well your realm, my son.
And so, dear listeners, we've witnessed the power of wisdom to overcome even the deepest prejudices. From Sindokht's courageous diplomacy to Zaal's mastery of both riddles and warfare, from King Manoochehr's acceptance to the joyous union of 2 kingdoms, every moment shows us how love, supported by wisdom and courage, can bridge any divide. The prophecies of a mighty hero to come from this union remind us that sometimes what appears as a threat to tradition may actually be destiny's way of weaving a stronger future. The celebrations in Kabul, where former enemies now feast together, prove that no hatred is too ancient to be transformed by love's power. Join us in our next episode as we follow the newly wedded couple into their life together. For while love has triumphed and celebrations fill the air, destiny has yet another surprise in store, one that will test not just their love, but the very foundations of their faith in each other. If this tale of love's triumph has touched your heart, please support our journey through Persian mythology by liking this video and subscribing to our channel. Until next time, this is Sindokht, reminding you that even the most unlikely unions can bear the sweetest fruit.